My friend Steph has recently asked me to make them the Scarab ring, and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity for me to try and make something that I've been thinking about for a while now. Hi, my name is Urenja and I make jewelry, but I also make videos about how I make the jewelry. So what's the significance of the scarab? Well, the Egyptians molded the scarab after the dung beetle, which held great significance to them as they thought of it as like a metaphor. Like the scarab kept the world revolving like it does with its ball of, I'm not sure about the metaphor or why the earth is being compared to a ball of, but who am I to judge? I also once read that they thought a giant scarab rolled the sun in and out every day, and that was how the sun set and rose. But I'm no expert, and don't quote me, because I literally don't know anything. Scarabs in jewelry was also very popular at that time, and they crafted it from stone or semi-precious gemstones like red jasper and turquoise. And although the scarab holds no religious significance in modern Egypt, it is still regarded as a symbol of protection and luck. And I was naturally drawn to it because I am a total fan of insects and I love creating jewelry to mimic nature. But it also holds an extra special place for me because that was the first file that I purchased, downloaded, print and successfully cast using the lost wax method exactly a year ago. So what's the plan? Well, the plan is to make Steph's ring in sterling silver, but then also try and make a ring using mixed medium, where the body or the actual ring is going to be sterling silver and the scarab part is going to be in brass. I love the look of mixed medium and I don't see it being used often enough in my opinion. So I'm going to be taking you through the entire process of casting Steph's ring and then also step by step how I'm going to try and make the mixed medium ring. So the first thing I did was actually go into Blender and then slice the top from the body of the ring, which I didn't film. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure this out. And once that was done, I exported both pieces and then imported them along with Steph's ring into Chutubox, which is the slicing software I'm going to be using. I made sure that both pieces fit snug so that after I cast them, I'll be able to make them fit together seamlessly. And then as a rule of thumb, after every big plate I print, I like to go in and filter my resin and just do an overall cleanup of my 3D printer to ensure that there aren't any loose pieces of semi-cured resin floating around, because this will hinder the printing process. And then I ran the printer overnight. This took about 9 hours in total and everything turned out really well. So the next morning I started with the post-printing cleanup where I remove all the supports and clean the prints off using a brush and some alcohol. And then I cure everything under UV submerged in vegetable glycerin. And once the prints are fully cured, I start the process of filling in any holes and divots and sanding off any layer lines or imperfections. And then when I'm happy with how everything looks, I start the process of spraying everything onto my tree. Yeah, these are looking good, so I'll just check, make sure that they're on there nice and sturdy. And now it's time to mix the investment. And we are just a little bit closer to casting. Okay, I'll check back in about 9 to 10 hours. Okay, it's 6:30 now and we've just come up to temp. And this is where it's going to stay at for the next 2 hours and then slowly come down to casting temperature. Ooh, that is hot. Okay, so casting in about 3 hours. Okay, so it's 9:30 now and it's almost time to cast. I'm hoping that this goes well. The last batch that I did a week ago, I was unable to pull a vacuum, so that didn't go well. Hopefully it'll go better this time. So nervous. It's not happening. Okay, it's the next day, and as you can tell, that didn't go well. I was yet again not able to pull a vacuum, and so decided not to cast. But I think I know what the problem is and how to fix it in the future. I think I vacuumed the investment for too long and aerated somehow, because there's obviously air coming into the system, and that's why I'm not able to pull a vacuum. So I know what to avoid in the future. I mean, this is a learning curve, right? I've been doing this for a year now, and every time that I cast, it feels like I learned something new. But it sucks, and I'm probably going to have to start this process all over again. And there's already a lot of time and effort that's gone into it, but that's okay, because it is part of the journey. So the plan today is to try and patch the flask, to see if I can fill in the gaps where the holes are that's letting in the air. It's probably not going to work, but it's worth a shot. And then I'm going to bring the flask up to temperature again, remelt the silver, and then cast. And hopefully I'll pull a vacuum today. If not, then at least I know in the future what not to do. And then I'll just cast anyway and see what happens. What? No way. I have a mask on, so you can't really hear me right now. I was not expecting it to work at all. I think what may have helped is that these were so close to the bottom or to the top where I'm pouring the silver in. This was not supposed to work as well as it had. Yeah, this is great. I can move on to cleaning up. I really didn't think this was gonna work, so I was ready to start this whole process over again. By some miracle, I have complete rings. They do need some work though, as they're not perfect by any means. So the cleanup process and the fixing is gonna take some time, but I'm sure I can get it done. And then to give you an idea of how this is going to work, this is the top that I cast a week ago. So this should fit onto here, and then I'll solder the two together. I hope it looks cool. I think it will. But yeah, I can now start the process of cleaning this up and filling in all the little holes. Not ideal, but much, much, much better than having to start the entire process over. I'm really happy with how these turned out, especially the mixed media ring. I think it looks awesome and it's exactly what I had envisioned. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on any of the other videos that I'm going to post, and so that I might gain a subscriber. And I thank you for watching. Using the lost wax method. So what's the plan? Well, the plan is to cast the ring using meth. This is hard.